Got it. Hello, everybody. Supercharge your productivity with time blocking. I like to call it time management. Okay, we're going to talk about that. And let's see who we have here. Shireen joined us. There was somebody. Oh, I see more names over here. Elizabeth, Coastal Office. Hello, hello. Tin, I think Tin Shin. Rosemary, thanks for joining, guys. You can see your names. And I'm here at the South Bay office. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Names for a second, because I don't know if you know one another. Start from the back.
Carla Sevilla.
Carla.
I just joined this office 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Welcome. Congratulations. Carla. Patricia. Welcome. Thank you. Sandra. Okay. So again, if you're on the Zoom people, thanks for joining. So this is one of the biggest challenges, really, for any business owner. What about real estate? That's, you know, it's part of what we do. For every business owner, really, how you time manage yourself, how you time manage your business, that leads to time blocking. Time blocking is like a piece of the entire concept, right? So I'm going to first of all ask you the first question. Oh, by the way, I'm Meny Atias, the GM in this office, OP of the other locations. So glad to share my experience with you guys. So first question, again, if you're in the Zoom, you can unmute yourself. Feel free to you know, jump in, something over here. Why do you think that time management is challenging to begin with?
It's challenging because first we don't know how much time we need to establish the business. We have many things to do with the family or someone.
So what he's saying is, first of all, it can be challenging because we don't know how much time to allocate for like a task or throughout the day to the business. And then on the other hand, you said there are, correct me if I'm wrong, there are interruptions, right? There's like, yeah, you have your personal life happening too. Okay, that's fair enough. What else?
I like discipline, so.
You like or like? Okay, like, yeah, like discipline. I got you. I think everybody in the world lacking discipline, right? So it's no matter how much you implement. We'll talk about that as well, right? So lack of discipline to implement. That's awesome. What else? What else? Hey, Amanda, thanks for joining. So I was asking, if you just joined us, I was asking, what do you think managing your time in a person or in business is challenging? Like what is the reason? What's your reason and what are the reasons? Anybody else have anything else to share? Right?
I think wanting to fit everything in and just like, especially when it comes to work, you just want to say yes, yes, yes. And you want to say yes to your social life, and you want to say yes to your me time and your family time. And sometimes realizing there's not enough hours in the day.
That's true.
For everything. So you kind of have to really cut down or manage it somehow.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm going to go over that. I don't have a slide that says just say no, but you nailed it. It's one of the things that I want you to write this down. It's like the Nike, right? Just do it. So this is in time management. Just say no. Embrace it. Embrace the no. It's totally fine. We'll talk about that as well. Thanks, Rosemary. So just, you know, kind of a good definition of what it is, right? Time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between different activities. Okay, that's so. First of all, always seek to understand. Like I'm saying that time management, the time blocking, you know, whatever other stuff we're going to go over here. So we need to first of all understand. Tim, we missed you. That's fine. Next time. My sessions are always hybrid. I always do it from a certain location, and we also broadcast, right? And always on a side note, right? Always, if you're not sure if you want to attend the class, because you know we have our sister offices, Long Beach, LA Harbor, and RPV, and South Bay and Torrance. ask your admin team, hey, is this class in person? And if so, where it is? Otherwise, we're going to record. So, you know, there are so many different terms and concepts and what have you. If you're not sure, it's very simple. Rule number one in business, if you assume something, it's most likely not true. Okay, if you assume something, it's most likely not true. So if like, I think that, that's how you know that you can catch yourself. I think that, or assume that, or I can guess that, you have no idea. You don't know. So, and that's going to lead you to either some kind of a adventure that you know might make mistakes or might not, and it's going to be great, or it might lead you to a disaster. Okay, so you always seek to understand. If you don't know, be courageous enough to be the I don't want to say the stupid person in the room, right? But or the most ignorant, because some people would take it as an insult. I have a problem with that. Be the person who knows less in the room, so you can raise your hand and ask, "Hey, I have a question," right? And if you become that annoying person that asks a lot of questions, it's going to make you the smartest person in the room eventually. You follow me? So always seek to understand. So that's why I want to put it in the definition, so you understand the meaning of that, and you can kind of wrap your hand around what it means to you. So let's jump right into it. And some of you said, you know, I don't know what's important, etc., etc. We'll talk about it as well. But this is like the priority matrix, been used around for, you know, forever, in different variations. So, and you know, you can take a screenshot, or Kim will send an e-blast afterwards to the offices, so get a copy of my slides. But really, when it comes to any kind of category, if it's personally or business, you want to break it down to, you know, on the left is how important is this task? Like, and by the way, the matter of importance is relevant to you, might, you know, in different ways, because the important to you might be for the kids. Important for you might be to make more money. Important for you might be to save a deal, right? And on the other spectrum is how urgent. Now you might ask, what's the difference between urgent and importance? What is between urgency and importance? Anybody want to try and add value and you know, tell us what you think the difference between urgency and importance is? Yeah, go for it.
I would think that.
I think, Shireen, I think you tried to say something, but we're losing you.
Is like.
Ooh. Kim, if you can mute her and then put in the chat that we cannot hear her because her reception is not good. Kim, if you can mute her.
Yes, I'm trying.
Yeah, just mute her and just put in the chat that she's chopping, she's chopped. Sorry about that. Anybody want to try to guess or to assume? Huh? What's the difference between urgency and importance?
Okay.
What's the difference? Go for it.
But like urgency needs to be done now versus something that can be done later.
Okay. Okay. So, Shireen, once again, I'm sorry, you've been chopped, become choppy.
I'm thinking like urgent is a deal.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, make sure to put a chat. She's trying to talk and it's killing us over here.
Removal or.
Kim,
Yes.
sorry. Okay. Okay. So sorry for the interruption, but you know, cannot hear you. So importance is task related. What is the outcome, right? Is it gonna make or break the deal, for example? What's the outcome? That's what's being measured. Urgency is a time crunch, right? So does it have to happen fast, or I can? It's important, but I can do it maybe in an hour, maybe tomorrow, etc. Make sense? So for example, if the task is very important and it's extremely time sensitive, do it first. Do it first, right? If it's, the outcome is really important, but that can be done like, after 12 p.m. every day, not first in the morning. So I'll do it next. Like, it's important. I have to do it, but I'll do it next after the critical tasks. If it's something like totally, I have to, pick up something from the store, right? Or drop some Amazon box in return, or, get more stamps. But I have enough, but I just need to restock my stamps. So it's not as important, it's not as urgent. So, just don't do it. And when it says like do later or don't do, etc., it doesn't mean necessarily like ever. It just means today, or however you're gonna time manage yourself. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. Let's see some of the text for a second. Piper, hey Piper, it says important activities have an outcome that leads us to achieving our goals. Correct. Urgent activities demand immediate attention and are usually associated with achieving goals. Awesome. Shireen explaining her Wi-Fi quality, totally get it. It's all good. We love you. So let's continue. Other questions, by the way, about that? So being good at time management involves conscious planning and thoughtful decision making. Okay, so you cannot just be spontaneous about managing your time, or if you want to be extremely efficient with your time, how you manage it, you have to be a planner. And you have to put some thought into it, right? I'll give an example. First of all, on a side note, and you could go to our hubs, right? Our sites. If maybe you can, your agent maybe didn't see it yet, but let's say in South Bay, go to the KW South Bay Hub, KGUB.com, KWCoastalHub.com, LAHarbor.com, hub.com. Okay, it's always the KW office hub.com, and just go and explore that site we built for you guys and look at the different resources and the career development, etc. There's a lot of good stuff for you. If you're going to go to the last tab, the resources, you're going to find over there business development button, and then there you can download the 411, 135 template, etc. So I encourage you as soon as this week to go and plan your next 12 months. In the real estate, it's not really necessarily by the calendar year. We always go 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, right? So I invite you to, encourage you to go and get those files and then start to work on your next 12 months plan, okay? That will kind of encourage you to better understand the system as a whole, right? Because we plan by the year, then by the month, then by the week, then by the day, right? And then that's, pretty much emphasizing over here that we're putting a lot of thought and planning ahead into our time management. And this is like a sample, right, of how that might look like. This is like a monthly view, for example, right? So you see, it says like vacation. I'm going to give you some tips afterwards of how to build your calendar properly. But what you want to do is, first of all, ideally plan your personal time, right? And if you do an annual planning, and like every January you hop on a plane and going somewhere, and then in March you have some family vacation, and then or maybe in April, and then maybe in June you have something as well when the summer starts, and then maybe something for Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, etc. So time up those big rocks, big chunks before. Then you can time block, right? Other areas of importance when it comes to your, again, to you. It can be family stuff. Let's say you pick up the kids every day, Monday to Wednesday to Friday, you drop them and you pick them up from school. Time block. it needs to be on the calendar. Why? Because it's there and you know it's a block part of your day, so you can be a better planner. What's happening, what might happen before and after. So far, so good. Same thing with gym. Anybody here exercise or do something active during the day, during the week, during the month? Time block it. Time block it. It should be there because if it's time blocked, it means it's being time managed, right? That's how you manage your life and your business. So, and that just give you an idea. Of course, the next step will be other parts of the business. I'm going to dive into that. Any questions so far about this? Okay. Anybody here using like some kind of a planner or a calendar of some kind? What do you use?
This and my phone, but I like to see everything written. Like if I don't see it, if I don't write it, I forget it.
Sure.
So
So
I
yeah.
don't use the phone a lot. I have to
Okay.
see it.
So you do both.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask 2 more questions later on about how you manage that on a daily, weekly, monthly, right? But what do you use?
Tried this one.
Second?
I tried
Oh.
like a planner. I could do my phone and just I ended up veering off.
Got it. Okay.
That's my issue. Red shiny ball. I'll go after that instead.
Okay, and that's perfect because we're gonna ask you some more questions soon. But the good thing is that from here you have places to grow,
Yeah.
right, and improve yourself if you choose to.
Only one way.
Right, exactly. Amanda?
Everybody's looking for a planner. I would say Legend, I got it on Amazon, is one of the best planners. It took me like 3 or 4 years to find this one. And I'm just going to show you real quick, like you can do the full on month.
Oh,
and
that's
then-
cool.
Yeah, amazing. And then it breaks down the weeks and then the times too. So it's if you
Yes.
want a time block, this one's great. Like I love this thing. It's
Okay,
one of
that's
the best.
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
Legend Planner from Amazon.
And Amanda just joined us to our LA Harbor office, right? This week or last week?
No, this week.
This week. Yeah, awesome. And she's amazing addition to the team. Thanks for sharing, Amanda. So you see, next slide, you can jump in even deeper. This is not my calendar. I didn't want to show you mine because I didn't want you to get overwhelmed. Kim knows. But I use the same concept, and I'm going to coach you for a second about the advantage. Now, if you're totally fine. If you like the paper, Amanda, you etc. Awesome. Maybe like Jennifer, like she loves to use like markers, like in different colors. You can use it too. That's fine. You don't have to, but it might be helpful. So here's what I'm talking about, and that might not be applicable for this specific color example, but I'm going to give you my color coding that I'm using. So I'm paperless. Okay, I have only this cell phone and a laptop. That's all I use. And it's because I made a decision to get rid of paper because my desk became cluttered, just more clutterish, and I just couldn't handle that. So I got rid of a desk, so I don't have a desk. So that it forces me to be a bit more efficient, right? Because I can't just keep carrying paper that will grow and grow and grow. Now, we all know, and it doesn't happen to you, it happens to you and you deny it, you're in total denial. If you have a desk and you have a stack of papers, and you just put it over there on the side because I have to look into this. And then day after, there's another stack of paper on top of that paper, and another one, and another one, and another one. Before you know it, the desk is full of stuff. Or maybe the car, the glove department, and I'm gonna search anybody's car, maybe the kitchen, and the someplace it happens to all of you. Don't lie, I know it. I've been there. What happens is you force yourself to push things aside. So go back to the matrix, like everything is, I want to do it first, but then like I'm gonna push it to the don't do. So you're developing habits that are a procrastinator habits. And what's gonna happen is it's gonna feed your subconscious that it's okay to be that kind of a person, and then it's gonna affect your other parts of life, your personal, physical, mental, because it's around you and you're allowing that. Fair enough? Okay. So how do we get rid of it? Either discipline or efficiency. So some people would say that I'm very disciplined, and I probably am more than others, but I don't think I am as disciplined unless I'm forcing myself through the efficiency of that specific case technology. Right? So that's why I'm only using my Google Calendars to manage my everything. Because otherwise, if I'm touching paper, I'm a mess. I'm not disciplined. So one solution for you is if you have cavity issues, right? You don't have the best teeth. Don't have candy at your house, right? That was a metaphor. Avoid it. Don't be around that. It's like anything in life. Don't be around bad influence if you are being influenced. Okay? So if something influencing you, I know it's sometimes the analogies are to be, I know also like language and like what he's talking about. And I think in Hebrew first, and then I translate to English, so good luck with that. So if something influences you in a negative way, don't allow it around you. If something influences you in a positive way, have more of that. Okay? So back to the efficiency, but again, if you're using paper and it works for you, that's awesome. Do it. Don't change them. So in my Google Calendar, I have multiple calendars. So imagine, Amanda, you as well, that you have 7 of those. And every one is for a different purpose. One is for personal, one is to generate business, one is for appointments, meaning for performance, one is for training and education, and one is for maybe the business management, right? Like working on your business. So that's a 5. I'm gonna stop here for a second. I have more because I have other businesses, right? So that's the equivalent of creating separate calendars on your Gmail, on your Google Calendar. Sorry, I'm not going to go right now into the technicality how to. Okay, maybe you should do a class on how to, right? But if you're going to go there, you can figure it out. If you're using an iPhone, the same thing. You can create multiple calendars. Now every calendar has a different color. So I use the blue for only like it's called like the me calendar. It's like my personal stuff, family, me, gym, travels, family. That's the blue calendar. I use the orange one for training and education. If I teach something or if I go myself attending classes or sessions or seminars. I use the purple to lead generate. It's like purple, like in bold, right? It's like lead generation time, and the cold call, in your specific case, door knocking, what have you. Some use green, by the way, in bold. I'm going to teach you one about bold, green, white green, because green is like money making, right? I use the green when it comes to the production. So I'm going to meet with a recruit, or I'm going to go to a listing appointment, the actual appointment, I put green, money making. It's like, again, you're feeling the conscious and the subconscious, like money time. And then I'll stop here again because I have different calendars as well. But give you an idea of what I do. Now, why do you think it's important to have different colors? Let's say using one calendar. You don't have to carry 6. It's all good. What do I use colors? What can help you with?
Like a level or important.
Okay.
Maybe can be related. Or something like that.
Okay. I mean, you could, but remember, every color is a different calendar. Okay, so everything is important. So what do you think I'm using color?
Just make it easier.
Okay.
Oh,
It's more visual, so you know which one is.
Right. Yes. 7 colors, everybody. Colors? No? Yes.
I would say prioritization. I know I color code my calendar, so I know like on my appointments I have in red, dog producing activities I have in green, business development I have in orange, personal time I have in a different color. So just kind of bring it so you can look and kind of see at a glance, okay, this is how many of X that I have.
Yeah. And by the way, Carlos is our new director of growth director in the South Bay office. So welcome. Yeah, everything you guys said is correct. for me, here is another key factor that changed my perspective, and I want to share with you. Okay, so you see the colors, it gives you idea. Okay, like I see it right away. I know blue, personal. I see this, training. I see this, money making. I see this, appointments, lead generation, etc., etc. Thumbs up. It also gives you a perspective. What are you doing more of? And what are you not doing enough of? So let's say you have a week that you don't have any blue, you don't have anything personal. What happened? Well, like no gym time anymore, no family time anymore, no vacation time, no, I don't know, walking on the beach, no, dinners with friends. But what happened? You're off balance. Or you have a week that and let's say you're local, you didn't go to Hawaii or anything like that. But even if you go to Hawaii, you can still make phone calls. But let's say you have a week that you have no green, no productivity, no follow-ups, no business whatsoever. And it shouldn't be like that, right? So maybe you're going through something, or maybe you're just not disciplined enough to manage your time or business in specific properly. Make sense? So the color give a better visual of how your time is being managed or being utilized. Now, maybe in your case, I'm picking you for a second. You don't really utilize any of that. So what's going to happen with you? Maybe I could have. So I'm calendaring, I'm time blocking in 2 stages until probably 2005, 2004, with paper, right? It wasn't even like a calendar, that kind of account. That was a 2 certificate. It was just like a small note, and I make every day like the tasks or what have you, right? And from 2010, 11, I'm using the Google Calendar. But when I first started, it was like I forced myself. You have to time block because I saw this seminar online or whatever. I thought I want to change my attitude and grow from there. That might help me with something, which it did. So it was maybe one thing a day. It was like buy groceries, right? And then it's in the notes. I put the list of what I need to buy, right? And I forced myself because I love the paper, but do it on the phone back then, right? So slowly, what's going to happen? You're going to force yourself to time block stuff. What you learn over here is a bit more purposeful. So you won't have to, part my language, time block junk stuff, so you won't do them anyways. That's why I said time block even things that you know for sure that you have to do. Not brush my teeth at 4 a.m., but gym time or oil change or stuff like that. So you're gonna condition yourself. You're gonna recondition yourself, the subconscious, to do things differently. Make sense? So remember, our programming at some point is lacking the proper guidance, or it's totally screwed because we weren't given the right directions, right? Based on the path that we want to go eventually. Any questions about that? Any comments? Okay. So I hope that's a little bit helpful to give the idea of how you can feed that calendar. Oh, and another note, by the way, the way I do it every Sunday. So Kim, how far ahead in advance I time block?
I would say a month, maybe.
No, how far ahead?
Yeah, you have things on your calendar for months in advance.
Exactly. So I time block at least 1 year ahead, right? In December, next month in October, next month we're going to do our first business planning session for you guys. It's going to be a mega session with our 3 offices, 2 to 3 hours long. Every office is going to host at the same time, and we're going to all Zoom to the locations. It's going to be awesome. So we'll talk about those kind of things. So come October. By December, I have my 2023 in this specific case. Good to go. I know exactly what's going to happen, what's going to happen. Some of the things I'm going to buy in advance. It's pretty awesome, by the way, because if you buy airline tickets in December for 12 months in advance, you're probably gonna get save like 60 to 80% cost, if not even more, 100% sometimes, etc., maybe even more, right? And other parts of that. So my point is, I time block at least a year in advance, all the big stuff. So what I do, every Sunday I look at my week ahead. I do function 7 days, as of 7 days a week, so it can be every day I can take a look at the next 7 days, but just for the habit, on a Sunday I'm gonna look at the week in advance. So that's what traditionally the week starts on a Monday. Okay, then I'm gonna know what to do to be prepared, because let's say I have I'm meeting a buyer to see some properties on a Tuesday. So I already have 1 day before, and maybe I don't have everything ready. Maybe I need to get a CMA with all the list of the properties. Maybe I need to make sure that maybe I have extra masks in my car. Maybe they want to use that. Maybe I have those booties for the shoes. If I'm going to go to a house that will require that, and I'm going to be surprised. Maybe they're going to ask me for, I don't know, whatever that might be. And maybe extra waters in the car, even if I'm not going to drive with me, right? Maybe some bars, like some snacks for the people, whatever it is. So I have at least 1 day, not, oh my God, in 1 hour, I'm going to meet with them, I'm going to scramble and stress out like 80% of the agents, right? So I'm going to take a look on a Sunday to see what I have coming up this week. So I'm going to be mentally prepared for the week. Then every day, at the end of the day, it can be at 6 p.m., it can be at 10 p.m., doesn't matter. I'm going to look at tomorrow. So I know tomorrow it's Friday. I know exactly what to expect in the day. I'm going to show up on Friday like it already happened. It already happened. And you know what's cool about that? That in my case, almost every time, not all the time, but almost every time, I actually get excited about the day after, because I process it and I know how it's going to look like. And in mind, it's going to be a successful day. It's going to be another great day. Whatever the day will bring, right? Because one thing guaranteed, when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of success and a lot of challenges. And if you're not willing to embrace both, you're going to be either very emotional individual and very frustrated, and you're probably going to, at some point, you're going to just drop and do something different, right? Because you can't get too attached to the emotions around it. So you should be embracing both success and challenges. Challenges, some of the people are going to call that failures or whatever it is. Either way, it's okay. It's not only a challenge, it's an obstacle. It's like it will guarantee it's going to happen. Okay, and probably going to cloud your day, but that's just part of what it is. So that helps psychologically to overcome that, because you know what's going to happen tomorrow. You're ready for it, right? And you can also play the what if for a second. Like, okay, what if my buyer is not going to show up? What if I'm going to go to the listing appointment 10 o'clock and I'm not going to get the listing? What happens if I will? So get excited about it and then prime towards that kind of a mindset. Make sense? Okay. Questions? Comments? On the chat, Kim, regarding specific tasks for each day, do you time block a week in advance, or do you time block 1 day at a time? I time block, so I time block a year in advance for the big stuff, so I already know what's going on. But okay, so let's put the hat of the agent, right? If you're able to time block a week in advance, it's going to work better for you, because you don't have to guess what's going to happen every single day. I'm good for the week. That's why, by the way, we share with you the monthly calendars or the weekly calendars ahead of time on Sunday or Saturday. So you can also add that. We're leading by example. So all of you, so at some point this week or last week, that there was a class today at 2 o'clock, and you were here, right? So same concept applies. You want to start with, again, Tim, with your personal stuff. personal stuff for the week ahead. That's what you do on a Sunday. Perfect. Sit down and time block. What's going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 days ahead. Personally, and then put great. So this is me time. It's the most important time. That's how I can shop for the day every day and feel good about it. The next thing that you want to time about, the second big rock is your money-making activities. Is what we call our conversations or our lead generation time. Okay, that's what you want to. That's what you're gonna produce business. You're gonna bring business. Phone calls, door knocking, social media engagement, networking events. Maybe you're a member of, the chamber, this club, that club. If you take it to the next level, right? So if you go to the gym, show up with the Carlos's like T-shirt, right? What's that, right? Go with if you go with the hat that says realtor or whatever it is. Mix both, so my leisure time is also my prospecting time. That's like the next level realtor. By the way, it's a lifestyle, so nothing wrong with that. Make the best out of it, right? You're going to a family. That's in your personal. You're going to someone's wedding or family event or whatever. Or also, you don't have to shop with a T-shirt maybe that says realtor, but make sure to make the best out of it. Okay, to have those conversations about who you are and what you do. So, so the next thing is money making activities, because that's where we actually generate business. The next thing is time block the results. I'll give you 2 examples. Let's say you're gonna time block. We are in September. You want to do a half marathon in December. Great. So every other day, you're gonna I'm gonna run. I'm doing like a run or a jog or whatever it is for X amount of time. Great, because you want to practice sport, but you're also gonna time block the end result, which is like I'm gonna run half marathon on December 5th. Same thing in business. What I used to do, and what I see agents are doing, every day, for example, between 3 to 5 p.m., you're gonna time block listing appointment / buyer showings. So today in the morning or during the day, I'm gonna lead generate, I'm gonna join business, because at the afternoon I'm gonna meet today's morning phone call seller, and I'm gonna go to a listing appointment. Or maybe it's the appointment from yesterday that I booked. Or maybe it's the buyers from last week that I'm gonna show them houses today, etc., etc. So if it's there, you're expecting this to happen. Most likely you're gonna get somewhat frustrated because it doesn't happen fast enough or frequently enough. But again, you have to recondition yourself, to reprogram yourself how to function as you're already there. Make sense? And then after that, I will time block training and education, because it's very, very important. But don't let training and education take over your lead generation time. If you're not going to be here, right? If you promise me, Meny, I promise you I'm going to be here 100%, and you're not here, and they're going to tell me, I'm going to tell them, say, hey, you said you're going to be here. Say, I know, but I went to a listing appointment. I'm going to say, that's what we're here, for you to do exactly that. And by the way, this is recorded, so you're good to go, right? So if it's the bottom activities that making you money, right? That's the most important. That's the biggest rock. Or second to me time, right? You are the most important asset, and then money making activities. I hope I answered the question, Tim. And by the way, you can always change, whatever. That's why I love, to use the technology, because if I need to change something today, I can just drag it for tomorrow if it changed for whatever reason, meeting, appointment, etc., versus the stretching, because I can do that, right? But as long as you're disciplined to manage it properly and you're on top of it, keep doing that. Okay. Leverage, that's a big one. So you will usually be taught leverage in a more advanced feature or advanced phase of your business. I like to talk about it right away at the get-go, because I think it can be leverage can be leveraged right away, or can be implemented right away. So some of you are like, I'm not sure what we're talking about. So I'm gonna challenge you right now. I'm gonna ask you, what do you think leverage is when it comes to time management for you as a realtor, as an agent? What do you think that is? How can you leverage your time? With what? With who? Any ideas? Yes.
I think with systems, I think with the last slide with Google Calendars, that you can set it up to give you reminders as far as like when appointments are coming. So okay, 15 minutes before I have to be in my next place. That's a tool that's used.
Yeah. So using technology, right, to manage time or manage something else, maybe that can be that's a leverage, right? Awesome. What else? I can leverage your time. By the way, leveraging time, for example, just to give you like maybe a better explanation, is it's being done, whatever task is being done by something or someone else. Okay? So Google Calendar, you don't have to remember everything. It's there, right? You put it one time and it's there. What else?
Like you said, wearing a t-shirt at the gym, we gather in the files. So to do it personally,
Sure, I think that's an awesome point. So you're saying leverage your attire present, your attire, right, to promote your business. Okay. What else? So let's say you have a transaction. Thank you. Yeah, using TC. You have a transaction. Totally fine if your first transaction, maybe first to you, if you really want to do it yourself, just to learn how to do it, it's okay. And then, maybe it's not a big deal, big commission check. So you want to save that, $300-400. I understand that. At the same time, here's the tricky part. It will take you, I don't know, on average, Charles, maybe you can help me out, maybe 5 to 10 hours per transaction. You're gonna waste or spend on the paperwork, especially if you knew, maybe even more. It will take those 5 to 10 hours. And we're going to dedicate them to make the phone calls or the networking or the appointments or the door knocking, from the flyers, talk to people. You're going to get another deal. So I'm all day, every day, okay, to put $400 for TC and get $10,000 in commission in average. Make sense? It's an awesome return. So that's how you leverage your time. That's also you helping someone else to feed their family. It's kind of cool exchange, right? TC. What else? It's an important piece. What else? Yeah.
I'd say command. Like a smart plan.
CRM. Let's take it as CRM. Let's make it too complicated, right? So you can use a CRM to leverage what?
Your database, your follow-up.
Your database. Okay. Now, what do you want a computer system to leverage your relationship? Well, you don't, but you want to add on in addition to what you are doing, right? So, for example, it's easier to have a system that will send automatically twice a month or once a month neighborhood updates to your buyers or sellers, instead of you remembering or even time like going every day and do it to 1,000 people. That's going to take you a long time, right? So leveraging Killable Command, for example, to do that automatically for you, you have to spend one time in time block it, and to put the data, the contact over there, and assign the drip campaign, and that's it. It's going to happen from now until the person's going to unsubscribe or for the person's entire life, right? And of course, also in our specific case in Command, if you're using Command, if not you should, it will show you on the panel, on the homepage, daily reminders. Hey, call this, call that. This person has a birthday. This person has an anniversary. This person's whatever, right? So good leverage for sure. Anything else for leverage? Okay. Piper, any other leverage items?
You guys spoke about CRMs and TCs, and to me, it's like technology is extremely important for leverage,
Yeah.
right? Goes
Yeah.
anywhere from Google to Command to any of it.
Yeah. And thank you for pointing this out, because there are two types of leverage. There's let's just call it as, you know, passive and active, or cold and warm. Passive / cold is technology, right? To use like a machine, to use a tool, to use technology, because I mean, you don't really have a relationship with your iPhone. I mean, I like my iPhone, but I don't love my phone, right? It's a bit different. The active and warm is leveraged through people, and that's awesome. That's money, you know, money time, fun time, everything. Why? Number one, you're building relationships. Number two, you're supporting other people. Number three, you increasing your potential to make more income. What does it mean? So, for example, you hire a PC, so you're supporting another business owner. Maybe they can support you back in some shape. When you do a transaction, you are triggering a relationship or interaction with dozens of people, right? The whole title organization, the title rep, the title officer, the title admins in the office working just for you and for your client for that specific transaction. NHD, right? Same thing, the front runner, the rep, and the back office, home warranty, usually the rep, right? And escrow, the other side's the buyer's agent or listing agent, your broker, team leader, agent services, Scott Leroy if you're doing the tech part, etc. Marketing, right? And more and more and more. Think how many people are touched by you when you're actively doing some kind of a transaction. So leveraging through others, it means that you have to know your place in the life of a transaction from beginning to end. So don't try to be the escrow officer or the title rep or the home warranty specialist or whatever. Leverage through others. Let them empower them, let them do their job to make it easy for everybody. And that's how you, again, leveraging your time. So you don't have to know everything. You just have to know how to work everything properly. Make sense? And I think that's what I've seen successful agents, they're mastering that skill, the art of leverage, right? Mostly through people, other professionals. So make a note to yourself that if you don't really understand to perfection the transaction to close or lack of a transaction, as we call it, talk to your mentor or broker, or even go and chat, to the escrow, like if you're in the South Bay, it's upstairs, Maria, and say, hey, can you schedule time, 15 minutes, give me the rundown about, the transaction, because escrow control everything, so they will kind of know what's happening, A to Z, right? That's the art of leveraging, which is
One thing about leverage, Meny, when we study the MREA book, Gary Keller makes great points about leveraging is really only beneficial if you make it very purposeful. So if you have a task that you're leveraging to someone else, make sure that you are filling in that time that you just bought yourself with an income producing activity. Don't fill in the blank with something that really isn't getting you back on track. You want to actually produce something in that time that you've just saved yourself. And then the other thing that I want to say about leveraging is that, like I'm a working mom. I know there's lots of working parents out there. And I feel like sometimes we almost have to have permission to leverage something in our personal life, but that's an okay thing to do sometimes. Like I really enjoy taking my daughter to school because it's time when I can talk to her, and I'm sure a lot of other parents feel that way too. But if I carpool or if she carpools maybe just one time a week, well, in a month, I've just gained 4 hours. 4 hours is a lot. You can do a lot. I can get to the office early and get a lot done. So I feel sometimes we feel guilty about leveraging in our personal life too. So.
No, awesome point, Kim. Thanks for sharing. And absolutely, it's like to have the mindset of an investor. You have an income property, right? So if you have an income property, what you've done, you leverage the time. You also leverage money, right? Because this property basically is making money while you sleep, right? Like you don't have to do anything for it. Like there's the tenant, they're paying a mortgage, they're probably paying more than just that. So you also have some kind of hopefully cash flow, right? So you're making money. It's adding also appreciation to the property. So the value increases, the net worth increases as well, right? But if you're gonna have only one, you're gonna be, I'm done. You probably, if you want to build wealth, it's probably, you can't stop there. You have to keep doing this, right? So maybe you can leverage that against something else, maybe use the cash flow, et cetera, et cetera. So the same mindset applied to what Kim said, that if you were able to exchange, I used at the very beginning, that example, you hired a TC to do that 5 to 10 hour job throughout the transaction for you. Don't just forget about those 5 to 10 hours that you just paid for someone else. Use it for you to your advantage, right? And then I think what Kim was saying about feel good about it is if you are exchanging time, make the best use of that time, right? And hopefully that you don't do that to force yourself to do something that you don't enjoy. So you're not going to get discouraged. You have to keep doing it over and over again. I will say though, and that's another quote from Gary Keller that he was saying the other day, that he said, I made peace with lead generation, right? I made peace with lead generation. So you can choose to make peace with activities that making you money or bringing you success, bringing results, but maybe you do not enjoy doing as much, but they fit in your lifestyle or your families, right? And maybe at the beginning, you're not sure exactly what it is because you don't really have a cycle of transaction and success and results from your activities, which might take a minute. But once you know what it is, either embrace it or make a decision what you want to do. What's important is that don't drop from doing those activities before you saw some results. It might take a month, might take 3 months, might take 6 months, might take even a year. Consistency always wins, right? So I just put like 5 tips over here to better your time management. I think we went over some of them. The first thing is set reminders, right? If you're using like some kind of a Google Calendar, what have you, you can, or on your phone, iPhone, you can have those like 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, reminder or what have you, that I use that, and I also use an alarm clock. I have an alarm clock that's set up to specific reminders during the week that are consistent, right? Like repetitive. Why? Because I might not notice on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. that I have to be on that Thursday at 8 p.m. I have to be on that call. So I have it 2 minutes before, boom, jump on this Zoom session, right? So I can never forget. So you can do that. Reminders can be a good habit for you to start with. Really build up muscle and discipline that you're like, I know where I need to be and what I need to do. Create a daily planner. As we spoke, I encourage you to expand to at least a weekly planner, right? At the very minimum, a weekly. Ideally, it's going to be a year, month, week, and by the day, right? The day you can build by 1 week in advance. Give each task a time limit. So that's another skill. I think you mentioned at one point, like you don't know how much time, whatever. Play with it. You can always over-exaggerate at the beginning. Let's say you're going to say, I want to do up that neighborhood, and they are 20 to 25 homes per side, and I want to do only 2 streets. So I know I'm gonna hit 80 to 100 homes. Anybody knows how long it's gonna take you? How long would it take you to donut 100 homes? Anybody? 2 streets. Wanna guess? Yes. An hour? Huh? Okay. So I don't know. Maybe you're not really fast, right? Maybe you're not really slow. Maybe you went to a time that there's nobody home. Maybe you went when every second person opened their door and having a lengthy conversation with you, talk, oh my God, until tomorrow, So it might take you even 2 hours. So I would time block 2 hours. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna take you more than that, but at least 2 hours time block. Now, let's say I crushed it for good reason, not because I'm knocking, I'm running, from the door, right? I'm really making the best out of it. But let's say it took me an hour. Done. So what can you do with this extra hour? Any ideas? It's already time blocked. It says what? 2 hours donut. Anything to stop me from donut another hour? No, it's already time blocked. You follow me? Or you can drive down to the Starbucks, near Starbucks or whatever, and make phone calls. Right? But again, this specific time, I already allocated that to generate business, to generate money. Think about you at your house, okay? And you have this beautiful custom built money printing machine. Yes, Piper, it prints $100 bills. Anybody want to have this machine? Yes? Okay, me too. And you have in advance, 2 hours every day, you print in the machine. They have this little thing, you have to do that, right? Anybody wants this machine again still? Right? And then after 1 hour, you're able to print, $20,000. That's your daily thing. But then you have another hour extra. Are you gonna keep printing that $20,000? No difference. So I have that added in mindset. By the way, if you have issue with making money, then you have issues. Let's go back to conditioning, because I don't know, it comes from a place of I'm not worthy. I don't know how to handle that. I'm gonna make this month, 1 month, $100,000. What am I going to do with? I never made $100,000, before. What am I going to do with this money? So you have issues in your programming and education, how to manage money. That's a whole different topic. Okay, make sure we're going to do a session about that as well, right? Change your attitude. But to my point, there's no difference. When you're printing money, you're printing money. Why do you want to stop printing money? It's only 2 hours a day. Okay, so it's a mindset. After that, no capitalism, no nothing, it's all good, do whatever you want to do. But when you're on the clock, all the way, all in. So that's why we want to give it a time limit. And let's say we have different type of limit. Let's say it's going to say, I'm going to time block, whatever, 30 minutes for this task. And it took you way more than 30 minutes. And every time you do it, it takes you 45 minutes or an hour. So you need to adjust, because now you messed up your other calendar. One last thing about time blocking, try to avoid time blocking things back to back. Back to back. Always, that's how you actually always beat the clock. By the way, if you're on time, you're late. So always be there 5 minutes ahead of time, if not more. And the way to do it is, let's say you time blocked lunch from 12:30 to 1:30. And then 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock is this session. And then 3:30 to 5:30 is your maybe donut or follow-up or whatever that is. Maybe you're gonna write notes, etc., etc. You see, I didn't do 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, because then you're gonna be late to everything. You're gonna set yourself to fail. So make more, make those changes. Let's say tomorrow, or I don't know, 2 days from now, you have to be somewhere You have to be somewhere, listen to this, you have to be somewhere at 1 p.m. You've never been there before. You're gonna go to Google Map, and you're gonna Google search, sorry, you're gonna Google map your location that you're gonna live from in 2 days from now to destination. But don't do it at midnight or at 6 a.m. Do it around the same time that you will do it when you're gonna drive there. So let's say 12 o'clock. So wait for 12 o'clock and do Google Map from the subway office to Lomita 123 Main Street. Oh, I thought it was gonna take me 20 minutes. It would take me 45 minutes because it's that time of the day, for example. So you know, okay, how about this? I'm gonna go to Lomita hour and a half before. Where's the nearest Starbucks to my appointment? Let me sit there, work it 30 minutes before, and then I can go to my appointment. Okay? Instead of rushing. Not to be Russian, just rushing. Tied to that, you know, some of you said, you know, the art of saying no. That's important as well. So it's, you know, block out anything that will distract you. So you have to make an agreement with yourself. How committed are you to, or how attached are you to the result? We're gonna finish in 3 minutes. How attached are you to the results? Right. So let's say I got my license because I want to be breaking out of that industry I'm in right now. That's like my story, for example, right? I was working in a great industry, but like I can't do this corporate routine anymore. I need to do something more entrepreneurial, and I want to master my own time, right? And I want to make way more money without any limits, right? So I was attached to that, and also like, you know, want to dress differently and etc., right? So how attached are you? How committed are you to become that person or to get whatever it is that you want to get, right? That will help you because then you have to be disciplined inside and say, hey, we have tomorrow, we're going to early happy hour, but it's Friday, there's a special margarita in the Margarita Land. You have to be there. We haven't seen it forever. If you want, you have to be there. I'm not friends anymore. What time? 3 o'clock. Yes, would love to see you. I'll be there at 5 o'clock. I don't know. I said 3 o'clock. Can't. I'm still working at 3 o'clock. I'll be there at 5. Let's see. Can't wait. 72 margaritas. Why? Because 3 to 5, you already time blocked to do what? Printing money. You're printing money, Piper. Bills at 3 o'clock on Friday, right? You can't go to a margarita, even though that you really want. I really want to go on this. I don't much. Make sense? So be courageous enough, bigger than life, to say no, not no to people, but no to things that are taking away your dreams. No, I'm not okay with it. And say yes on your accord. I never say no. I always say yes. I'll give you the terms and the conditions. Okay? An established routine, I think it comes with time. People say they're gonna see amazing books. It takes 66 days to build new habit. Or this, that. I say it takes a fraction of a second. If you make a decision to do something, you time block it, it's a new habit. You just have to do what? To show up and do it, right? Yeah, that's the system. Okay. So I hope that little session today kind of gave you a little bit, you know, insight of what to do and how to do. And take at least one thing. If you can do more than one thing, it's great. But it's one thing and implement today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Implement today. One thing that you've learned with this, session, and get improved with your systems and habits. Anybody else want to add something? Any other comments, notes? Okay, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the day and the week. See you. Bye.